Hello everyone and welcome once again to GSTEF TV, the home of unfiltered entertainment conversations, heated Nollywood debates, and the kind of stories that keep your timeline buzzing long after the screen goes dark. Before we go deep into today's explosive gist, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel, turn on your notifications, and stay connected, because what you are about to hear is one of the most controversial narratives currently shaking fan communities and stirring intense reactions across the industry. The moment the phrase, Maurice reveals secret plans with Sonia Uche in America, began circulating online, it landed like a spark in dry grass. Within hours, fan pages, gossip platforms, private chats, and comment sections were on fire. The addition of Bryan Aquora's silence to the conversation did not calm things down. Instead, it poured fuel on an already raging inferno. Silence, in the world of celebrity gossip, is never just silence. It becomes a message, a clue, and sometimes an accusation all on its own. According to the narrative spreading through entertainment circles, Maurice allegedly hinted at or revealed plans involving Sonia Uche and a possible move, project, or extended stay in America. The details were vague enough to invite speculation but specific enough to feel intentional. Fans immediately began asking questions. Were these plans professional or personal? Was this about film opportunities, relocation, or something deeper? And most importantly, why would such plans be described as secret if there was nothing to hide? Maurice has always been a figure who provokes strong reactions. His supporters describe him as passionate, expressive, and unafraid to live boldly. His critics, however, often frame that same energy as reckless or attention-seeking. So when the idea of secret American plans with Sonia Uche surfaced, both sides felt validated in different ways. Supporters saw ambition and growth. Critics saw drama waiting to explode. Sonia Uche's name being attached to the story instantly raised the stakes. She is not just another actress in the industry. She is someone whose presence alone generates conversation, admiration, and scrutiny. Fans have long followed her career closely, analyzing her roles, interviews, and public appearances. The suggestion that she could be part of undisclosed plans abroad with Maurice transformed what could have been a simple travel or work rumor into a full-blown controversy. As the story spread, fans began replaying past moments, looking for clues they might have missed. Old interviews were revisited. Social media posts were re-examined. Casual statements suddenly felt loaded. A smile became suspicious. A caption felt coded. Fans started connecting dots that may or may not have been related, but in the heat of gossip, logic often gives way to imagination. What truly escalated the situation, however, was Bryan Aquora's silence. In a space where statements, denials, and clarifications are often issued quickly to manage narratives, Bryan said nothing. No post. No interview. No indirect message. Nothing. For some fans, this silence was dignified and mature. For others, it was deeply suspicious. Supporters of Bryan argued that not every rumor deserves a response. They insisted that silence can be a sign of confidence, self-control, and refusal to be dragged into unnecessary drama. They described Bryan as someone who understands the cost of feeding gossip and chooses restraint over reaction. To them, his silence was powerful, not incriminating. On the other hand, a louder and more aggressive group of fans interpreted the silence very differently. They asked why someone who had allegedly been vocal about boundaries in the past would suddenly go quiet when rumors escalated. They questioned whether the silence was strategic, emotional, or forced. Some even suggested that Bryan's lack of response meant he knew more than the public did and was choosing not to speak for reasons yet unknown. Maurice's fans wasted no time defending him. They argued that ambition should not be criminalized. According to them, planning international opportunities is normal, especially for actors seeking growth beyond local boundaries. They questioned why Maurice's alleged plans were being framed as secretive and suspicious rather than visionary and strategic. In their view, the backlash revealed more about the audience's appetite for drama than about Maurice's intentions. At the same time, critics accused Maurice of deliberately fueling speculation by being vague. They argued that if the plans were purely professional, there would be no need for mystery. They claimed that ambiguity was being used as a tool to keep attention focused on him and Sonia Uche, ensuring that the conversation stayed alive. Sonia Uche's silence added another layer of complexity. Unlike Maurice, who has often been expressive, Sonia chose not to address the rumors directly. Fans projected their own interpretations onto her quietness. Some praised her for maintaining grace and professionalism. Others accused her of allowing narratives to grow unchecked. A few even suggested that her silence was the loudest confirmation of awe, though no evidence supported such claims. As the days passed, fan reactions grew more polarized. Some fans expressed excitement, imagining a power move that could place Nollywood talent on a global stage. They spoke about international exposure, collaborations, and the possibility of Nigerian actors gaining stronger footholds abroad. Others felt betrayed, especially those who had emotionally invested in previous narratives involving Bryan, Maurice, and Sonia. For them, this rumor felt like a breaking point. There were fans who accused gossip platforms of manipulating fragments of information to manufacture controversy. They argued that a casual statement could easily be twisted into secret plans if framed strategically. According to this group, the real issue was not what Maurice allegedly revealed, but how quickly audiences accepted unverified claims as truth. Still, the conversation refused to die down. Each day brought new interpretations and emotional reactions. Some fans expressed disappointment in the industry as a whole, saying it thrives too much on speculation and too little on transparency. Others embraced the chaos, admitting openly that drama is part of what keeps entertainment exciting. Industry insiders, or at least voices claiming insider knowledge, added to the confusion. Some hinted that international projects were indeed in discussion, while others dismissed the entire story as exaggerated nonsense. Because no names, contracts, or timelines were confirmed, these claims only deepened the mystery. The phrase "secret plans" became the most debated element of the gist. Fans argued endlessly about what qualifies as secret. Is it secrecy if plans are not finalized? Is it secrecy if only a few people know? Or is the word simply a dramatic choice meant to provoke reaction? Every interpretation kept the conversation alive and emotionally charged. Bryan Aquora's silence continued to dominate discussions. Some fans began framing him as the calm observer watching a storm unfold. Others cast him as a man deliberately distancing himself from a narrative he no longer wants to be part of. A more extreme group suggested that his silence indicated internal conflict or unresolved tension that would eventually surface. As weeks went by, the gist evolved from a rumor into a symbol. It became less about America and more about trust, boundaries, ambition, and perception. Fans were no longer just debating facts. They were debating values. Should celebrities owe the public explanations? Is silence a right or a red flag? At what point does curiosity become intrusion? What made the situation even more compelling was the lack of resolution. No clear confirmation. No clear denial. Just fragments, reactions, and endless analysis. In the absence of truth, speculation became entertainment, and entertainment became conviction. Some fans eventually grew tired, calling for everyone involved to speak clearly and put an end to the madness. Others begged for silence to continue, admitting that the mystery was what made the story exciting. This split reflected the broader tension between a desire for clarity and a hunger for drama. In the end, the controversy surrounding Maurice Sam's alleged secret plans with Sonia Uche in America and Bryan Aquora's silence is less about what actually happened and more about how stories are born in the digital age. A single statement, a quiet response, and a curious audience can create a narrative powerful enough to reshape reputations. Whether this gist fades quietly or explodes into a confirmed storyline remains to be seen. What is certain is that it has already left its mark on fan culture, reminding everyone that in Nollywood, perception often travels faster than truth. Until someone speaks openly, the story will continue to live in whispers, debates, and heated comment sections. And as always, GistF TV will be watching closely, because in an industry where silence can speak louder than words, every pause, every glance, and every unspoken sentence has the power to ignite the next big conversation. Stay tuned.